So greetings once again and welcome back to another video. Kind of a nice Saturday morning. It's August 16th. Just taking a little stroll here at Stroll State Park along the rail trail. And I'm limping a little bit, but I'll talk about that later. I'll give you some updates too. I think recently in a video, I think it was one of my mail and chat videos, I talked about how I had my last wisdom tooth ripped out. That went a little rough. I'll give you an update on that too. But yeah, haven't been too active this past week because of that and for other reasons too. So we're just taking a nice, easy stroll here on this flat rail trail. Gonna get hot today, but we're still out here in the morning. We'll keep our eyes open for some wildlife, maybe look for bugs underneath the leaves and stuff. Parking lot wasn't too full. I'm sure things will get a little bit more crowded as the day goes on. It is the weekend. And I'm not sure why my leg is acting up. It's the same leg that I injured this past spring. My tendon there, the Achilles tendon. Kind of didn't hike for a while in the spring. But that injury was from kind of overdoing it, but this time I'm not sure why. Like I said, I took a break from hiking because of the tooth extraction. So I didn't really do much hiking. I didn't do hiking at all, so I'm not sure why. Like this morning it seems to be the worst it's felt all week. It started bugging me earlier this week, a couple of days after this got torn out. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe it's because I haven't been hiking, I don't know. So just got out today trying to loosen it up, taking some ibuprofen. So hopefully it'll clear up. It's nowhere near as bad as it was earlier in the spring, but so kind of confused as to why it's just acting up all of a sudden. My mom said it's because of the hurricane coming, the big low pressure system, Hurricane Aaron, which by the time you see this video will be long gone, but anyway. And up here is the bridge over the Sotara Creek. Yeah, we could go to the Bordner cabin, but I'm not going to do that today. You'd head up that way and then over. Let's just stay straight though. I haven't been down this way for a while. Yeah, but look at this. That looks like chocolate milk. That's not even the main part of the creek. The main part of the creek is out there. Man, they must have got a lot of rain up here the other day. Actually, let's go. I'm just going to walk across. I just want to check out the main stream then. Across the bridge here. Yeah, because one of these past days we just got a ton of rain. And down here's that one. This is usually kind of almost dry. This little part right here. But it's flowing, so. Like I said, this is not the main creek. I can see the main one through up there, so let's go check that out. These trees are like growing over the bridge now, closing it in. And here's another little small section that's normally not flowing that heavily. Yeah, so here's the main creek. Wow. Usually doesn't look like this. Alright, let's head back to the trail we were on, rail trail there. Yeah, but it's definitely been a wet summer. Probably why it's been a very buggy summer too. There's flying gnats and mosquitoes. Oh, here's some of these blue flowers. These are the Asiatic day flowers, they're called. I've shown these before. Let me zoom in. There, we get it to focus. They just have those two blue petals. But yeah, I had my last wisdom tooth ripped out. I guess you could word it that way. I talked about that in a recent mail time video. Maybe you didn't see that, but 2 years ago I had this one ripped out. They had that out in 3 minutes. I was like surprised. I thought the doctor was joking with me, or the dentist was joking with me when he said he had it out already. Because you're numbed up, you don't feel anything, but you give a couple tugs and it was out. This one, nope. That one had really long roots and they were curved. I guess they curved right into the bone down there. Man, I mean, they got it out, but they got it out in pieces. I think the last piece was one piece of the root. Yeah, they had to stick some big drill, well, not big drill, but you know, some drill in there. He said he had to shave away some of the bone. Ugh. Of course, I was numbed up heavily, so I didn't feel anything. But yeah, wow. A little bit more difficult to get that one out. I'm doing okay though. Still be careful what I eat. I can really only eat on this side of the mouth. It's gonna be that way for a while, but it's out. And then I just got to work on the tooth next to it. It has a decent cavity in it because of my wisdom tooth. It was causing problems, but they'll work on that in October. But yeah, that was kind of weighing heavily on my mind, getting that tooth out. It just didn't go as easily as I hoped it would. I mean, they got it out, but I was hoping they'd have it out in like 3 minutes like this one, but anyway, they got it out. And we're slowly going back to eating more normal foods. You know, I was eating a lot of, you know, pudding and yogurt and oatmeal there at the beginning. But it'll take some time for that whole area to heal back there. That hole to fill in. But here we have some Joe Pye weed, it's called. I think it's done blooming. They get pretty tall. That's taller than me. But when they're in full bloom, the butterflies and the bees just love them. There's another really tall one up ahead. Yeah, here's another tall one. I'm almost 6 foot. That's gotta be at least 8 feet tall. I think it's the flower head right there. Changing the colors. That's all poison ivy though. It's changing yellow. Yeah, what I say, August 16th, so fall is a-coming. Yeah, so I took a little bit of a break from filming just prior to the tooth extraction and for a couple days afterwards. They don't really want you doing much, you know, lifting anything heavy or, you know, exerting yourself at all, just to allow that to heal. So what happens, I guess, a blood clot forms in there, which is a good thing. But if you do too much exertion, it can cause it to come out, which can be very painful, they said, and stuff like that. So yeah, I listened to them, just took it easy. But there will be no break in the upload of the videos. I've talked about this in the past. You know, I keep a backlog of videos. So right now, there's probably just under 20 videos waiting to be published for you guys. It's like keeping a savings account, having cash saved up for, you know, for rainy days and stuff like that. That's what this backlog of videos is. Like I said, I know I've talked about it in other videos, but people still seem to be a bit confused about it. You know, by the time you see a video, I've filmed that video on average like 3 weeks ago. So like today's August 16th. But you're not going to see this video on August 16th. You're going to see it sometime in September. And what that allows me to do is, in times when I need to take a break from filming, like I did because of the tooth being pulled, and you can just relax a little bit. Also, I was quite busy for a little while, going all over the place, so it was time to take a break. So I can take a break, but I can still keep uploading a video every day for you guys, even though I'm not filming every day, if that makes sense. I think some people are still confused. They think when they see a video published or uploaded, they think I filmed that video that day, but I didn't. It was like 3 weeks ago. Anyway, I just want to kind of clarify and clear that up a little bit again. It just looks like a raging torrent of chocolate milk down there. Yeah, I've already turned around, head back. Like, so I'm not really going for a long walk today. My leg feels a little less stiff, but just don't want to overdo it either. Like I said, not sure why it's acting up again, but it is. It doesn't feel as bad as it did this past spring, like back in February when I was really injured. I had trouble walking. It feels like it did in the latter stages when it was starting to heal up. Still have a little bit of a limp, but... Oh, I gotta show you these. I saw a splash of white over there. So these look like... There's some thorns and briars here. These look like some form of morning glory down here. Or bindweed, they call it in the wild sometimes. That's what that looks like. It's in the morning glory family. Beautiful purple center. Yeah, because I can see the vine wrapping around some things there. Yeah. Cool, there's two of them. Called morning glories because they only bloom in the morning. They go by different names. There's a ton of... Oh, here's some more. There's quite a bit of it up here. Beautiful flowers. There's a lot of cultivated varieties of morning glory. I like planting them. One of my mom's favorite flowers too. The varieties that you plant have like those beautiful blue colors and like red colors. And if you let them go in the fall, they will readily reseed and come back the following year. Not as the same color as what you planted. They come back as maybe like smaller purplish flowers, lavender colored flowers. Because if you let them reseed themselves, they start returning more back to their more wild state instead of those beautiful cultivated colors. So I'll just have to take it easy with the hiking the next week or so, see how my leg heals up or reacts, because we have in about a month I'm going to be up in Maine, hopefully at Acadia, and hopefully hiking Mount Katahdin, which is a tough hike. I want my leg to be in good shape for that. So I didn't do a lot of hiking this past week, like I said, but I did film a number of my episodes in my Revolutionary War in Pennsylvania series. I think I filmed 3 episodes. I didn't film them in order of things, but they will be uploaded in the proper order. In fact, this video will probably be uploaded before some of those will be. I just took advantage of... Well, last week was pretty hot too, and I was still healing from this, and my leg was hurting, so I just kind of took it easy and filmed some of those videos, because they didn't really require me hiking anywhere and stuff like that, so... I filmed them out of order, but I'll upload them in the correct sequential order as far as events occurred in the Revolutionary War. If that makes any sense. That's how we roll sometimes. No cool looking bugs yet, but we did get to see some beautiful wildflowers. Yeah, with all the rain, it's just very green this summer too. Sometimes by mid-August, things are turning brownish color. A lot of times by mid-August we have drier conditions. Things do start turning more brown, but not necessarily the trees, but the plants down below. Everything's green and healthy. There's more of those blue flowers, the Asiatic dayflower. I think they get called is it monkey flower too? Because the blue petals look like 2 ears or something like that. But we're just gonna keep plugging along here in life. That's all you can do sometimes. This will heal up in time, and so will my leg again. I'll keep filming next week. Just won't do any longer hikes. find some things to film that won't aggravate the leg. Let it heal. For whatever reason, it's hurting again. Like I said, I didn't overdo it. I was actually taking it easy this past week, so I'm not sure what happened. If you have any ideas, you can let me know. Maybe it's from tensing up on the table, you know, the thing you're sitting on as they're like doing all that. Because they were sticking like big drills in there and stuff. The guy apologized to me. They had trouble getting it in my mouth, the drill, to shave the bone away. Oh my gosh. So maybe I was tensing up, you know. You know, you tense sometimes. If people are, you know, you go to the dentist, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I over-tensed my legs or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's over. I'm glad that's over. That just weighed heavily on my mind. But it's done now. And the healing is begun. But as we approach the parking lot, my leg is feeling a little bit better, starting to loosen up. Maybe it's just tight, I don't know. So not walking as much as I'll limp on the way back here. So I kind of want to get it moving, but I want to take it easy too. So taking ibuprofen too to reduce whatever swelling is going on there. Yeah, so not a super long hike and not a lot of nature or history, just talking about myself a lot in some ways, but just giving you guys some updates. No, I'd talk about my tooth and things, just kind of keep you abreast of how things are going sometimes. Alright, but I think that'll be it for this short little hike, this little video, folks. I am doing okay. We're healing up. That's life. You gotta deal with that stuff sometimes, regardless of how unfun or uncomfortable it is. Things got to be done sometimes, and injuries are unavoidable. Well, I mean, you can avoid some, but other times things happen. Alright, take care of yourself, folks. Stay safe. Autumn is coming. It's been a hot week. Today, I'm already feeling the humidity and the heat. It's gonna be like 90 degrees today, but next week, some cool weather is coming. It's going to be down like the 70s, so yes. Alright, so there's hope. Alright, thanks for coming along, folks, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Probably another Revolutionary War video.